What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are talking WNBA. The WNBA season comes back on Friday, May 8th. It came up quick. It starts up right in the middle of the NBA playoffs, and there's a lot of money to be made. I'm coming off a massive NBA season, up over 200 units. Honestly, it was an insane run all year in the NBA. The same strategies that I use for the NBA translate over into WNBA. And in this video, I'll be walking you guys through those strategies that I use every single day to find these winning player prop picks for the NBA and the WNBA. Let's get into it. If you've watched any of my videos before, you will learn that I show you guys my exact daily process every day and the exact tools that I use. So for WNBA, I only use two websites. One of them is free, one of them is not free, but you really need the not free one. It's outlier.bet. That's what I'm showing on the screen right here. This is what I use for every sport, whether it's NBA, NFL, WNBA, MLB, soccer, you name it. Anything for player props, I use Outlier. If you want a 7-day free trial for Outlier, there's a link in the description below where you can get just that. You can get any plan for free for 7 days. Not that expensive, quite honest with you. It pays for itself really quickly. Like, it doesn't take very long. But if you didn't want to do the research yourself and you only want to see my plays, I do offer a VIP. That's where I post all of my picks. I don't do a bunch of daily videos for WNBA and all the other sports. Most of my slips and everything are behind the paywall. You can get a 7-day free trial for my VIP by using the link in the description and in the pinned comment below. I'll put it in the pinned comment so it's easy to find. I'm always giving away free trials. I really don't care about the money from the VIP, but it does help me out and it does allow me to make this kind of content for you guys. So if you wanted to join it, that's where you'll see all of my plays. And if you just want to tail my picks, that's where you can find them. But anyways, in this video, I'm going to walk you guys through exactly how I do things every single day in the WNBA. Not very different than the NBA if you've seen that video before, but it is different than like tennis and soccer and some of the other sports. But anyways, I use Outlier. It's plain and simple. I'll go through my filters really quick. It's just odds -130 to -115. I use my books, Prize Picks, Underdog, Sleeper, and Hard Rock, and Chalkboard if they had it on here. They haven't got it just yet, but hopefully soon. And I focus on the main props. So I really only focus on like PRA, points and rebounds, points and assists, rebounds and assists, and then sometimes like individual props like rebounds or assists. I don't really mess up with some of these other ones like turnovers and steals and blocks and things like that. I try to stick to the main props. And quite frankly, my process, it is not rocket science. It's pretty simple. We'll focus here on the Sun and Liberty game just because I know there's a situation that I'm probably going to attack. I'm just not sure how I'm going to attack it yet. So what I like to do is I'll sort by the last 10. Obviously, first game of the season, we don't have much sample. A lot of players moving around. A lot of things change in the WNBA offseason. They added 2 teams. I actually did a giant rundown of the entire WNBA league, every single player, every single team. I posted it on my Substack. It's a free article. The link to that is in the description below. So if if it's early in the season and you're watching this video, or if it's even like before the season starts, you're going to want to read that article because it's going to catch you up with all the injury situations, all the projected starting lineups, all the movement in the offseason. It's basically an all-in-one for you guys. But anyways, let's get into the strategy here. I've rambled enough for you guys. So what I do is I'll go prop by prop, each player and each team for the most part. And we'll start with this Jonquel Jones prop. So we're going to look at last year's stats because she was with the Liberty. The team, for the most part, it's the same. There are some differences in the lineup. Obviously, the big news is Sabrina Ionescu is going to be out significant time. And so what does that mean? Like, what do I do in these situations? Quite frankly, I use the filters and Outlier. I'll look at the games without Sabrina Ionescu last year. There weren't a lot, only 4 games. But Jones did go under in all 4 games. WNBA is going to be different than NBA because the sample sizes are a lot smaller. So we could look at games without Ionescu and with like Bree Stewart. Only 3-game sample size. Jones did play significant minutes in those games, and she didn't perform. So there is a chance that she won't perform in this game against Connecticut. Granted, great matchup against the worst team in the league, but I don't really care about matchups too much. Expected blowout. But I just use the filters. Sometimes I'll go into a player. say like Brittany Griner here. That's not a good example because she wasn't with the Sun, but we'll go Bree Stewart, right? So we'll look at her last year's stats, and I'm not even going to worry about the Ionescu stuff right now. Sometimes I'll just look at the home and away splits because sometimes they matter a ton. I know for Caitlin Clark, she was one that I always look at the home and away splits. Not sure about it this year. Obviously, the lines are a bit different. But like last year, she was just, obviously had an injury-riddled season, but she wasn't very good at home. She was generally pretty good on the road. I don't know why. It's just the way it works. I do that in NBA too. So it's just some things to note. You'll kind of go through these players as the season goes on. You're going to recognize trends that you're going to be hitting every single night. So, for example, like we'll go back to that Jonquel Jones play where it's 25.5 PRA, right? And say Sabrina's out and Stewart's in, and say this continues of her going under this 25.5 just over and over and over again, ending up with like 16 to 20 PRA. The line isn't moving. I'm just going to keep hitting these same spots over and over and over again until it either gets priced out in the market. So, they start adjusting the line down to like 20.5 or 19.5 or something. Or if an injury happens, or if like Ionescu returns, like if something major happens that impacts the line. That's really how I do things. It's not rocket science at all. In the WNBA, it's the same for the NBA too, but the WNBA is a little bit easier because there's less teams and less players. However, it's a little bit more difficult at times to find the injury news. That's why it's important to use RotoWire and Outlier here, where you can see the starting lineups and things like that. And plus, another filter that you could use that is going to matter later on in the year, it's minutes. Stewart's not a good example for it, but like this minutes filter, say there's a role player that's playing like 15 minutes a game to start the year, then all of a sudden she jumps up to like 25. You can filter for games when she plays 25 plus minutes, and then you can go like home games, and you'll just find different trends that way. I'm sorry I don't have a lot of really good props to show you guys here in this video because the season hasn't started yet, so we really don't have a sample for me to show. I'll do an updated video probably like 2 weeks into the season where I'm going through like a live slate and everything, showing you some of the trends that I've been on, rehashing the strategy and stuff too, but the strategy is not very difficult. And, you're not going to win every day. You will win a lot long term. For me, most of the time, it depends on the combination on the parlays, on prize picks, underdog, chalkboard, sleeper, you name it. But I'm going to hit about 70% of the individual props just by doing the strategy. And if you're doing that in the long term, or if you're just betting them straight, you're going to end up profitable. And at the end of the year, that's all that matters. You just want to end up profitable. I mentioned the apps that I used before. So Underdog, Chalkboard, and Sleeper. I have promo codes for all three of them. Those links are in the description below. If you sign up for any of those apps or websites or whatever using my link and deposit, I'll actually give you 3 months of my VIP for free. And if you do all three of them, I'll give you a full year. Just send me a screenshot in a DM on like Twitter or on Discord or something that you did it. I'll verify it. I'll send you a code for the free year or the free 3 months, whatever it might be. And I'll get you taken care of because that is the #1 way to support the channel outside of just watching the videos and subscribing as well. But, sorry I don't have too many crazy strategy, like too many examples to show you guys in this video just because it's so early in the year. But like I said, you just got to go into Outlier. You got to go into the player cards. You have to adapt for the current situation tonight. So we'll go back to like just rehash it one last time for you guys. Like Bree Stewart, 28.5 PRA. We're going to look at games without Ionescu last year. And you have a 5-game sample size. She averaged 27.8 PRA per game. The minutes fluctuated a little bit, but you could expect her to probably play 34 plus. These 2 games were blowouts. So as long as the game doesn't get too out of hand, she's going to be in line to probably end up somewhere between 25 and 35 PRA. Because you can use your filters here for the minutes. So say like 30 minutes or so. It ends up being a 3-game sample size. So difference between WNBA and NBA. Sample size is smaller, so you're going to have to take a little bit more risk. You're not going to see those like 100% hit rates or anything like that, but it's just as profitable. So if you have any questions about the strategy, let me know. Send me a DM, drop a comment if you have anything, and best of luck this WNBA season, guys. Thanks for watching.